Well, welcome everyone to another Monday night here at Tomb of Annihilation at Proficiency Bonus. Before we jump into what happened last time, a quick thank you to our friends over at Team MZ, Streamlabs, Many-Sided Dice, and thank you for the support you're giving us. Check out Team MZ on Twitter, Many-Sided Dice and their Magical Artifacts Compendium, Lost Artifacts of Greygast. A lot of great stuff in there for your D&D 5e campaigns. Before we jump, one last thing, because we are getting mighty dang close, as in, a week and a day. I would be irresponsible of me not to remind everyone of Tabletop Legends. Strange group of individuals that if you haven't seen or heard anything about these guys on our channel yet, go check them out on Twitter, on YouTube. Their promo videos are absolutely hysterical. So check them out. The DM is a good friend of ours here at Tomb of Annihilation. You may remember him as Tuala. So he will be DMing a new group of people through his own psychosis, I guess, because this is a homebrew campaign, from what I've been told. So it's going to be good. Definitely check it out. Make sure you're there on April 2nd, 7 p.m. Eastern when they go live, as they have some great giveaways, including one of those 3-pack DM guide player's handbook, that really fancy looking designer cover that nobody wants to spend the money on. So if you're there for the stream, you can get in on the raffle, you might win it. Now with that being said, let's jump into last time, as our party has been battling their way through hell and high water in the Fane of the Night Serpent, after being led in by their supposed friend Fenthasa. They made their way in, fought their way past a Hydra. Unfortunately, the noise and the explosions from somebody's fireball sort of alerted them to an incursion. The alarm was triggered and battle ensued. Throughout the fighting, many things happened. Eventually, Devaney and Quen found themselves face to face with Raz Nasai. After a couple of brief moments of conversation, Devaney eventually decided that it seemed Nasai was being on the up and up, and that he literally had no clue what they were talking about, didn't have this cube that they were looking for, and it was decided that he would aid them in getting to Fenthasa to end this attempted coup. Well, Devaney and Quen proceeded through Raz Nasai's personal teleporter, unfortunately not advising the rest of the party that they were leaving. Solana and Solaren, on the other hand, were still involved in a rather terse battle with some of the Yanti and a couple of basilisks. Solana did not manage to escape the gaze of a basilisk and was turned to stone. Solaren, upon seeing that, proceeded to continue the battle, even though Quen and Devaney had sort of made peace, as he had no idea where they were and what had happened. As Raz Nasai knocked him unconscious, and then proceeded to drag his body through the teleporter to go try to find Devaney and Quen. He found Devaney sort of hiding for cover in Fenthasa's chamber, Quen out in the main chamber with Fenthasa and a couple of her loyalists. Had heard Fenthasa torturing some, looked like a elemental snake of some kind. During the battle between Fenthasa and some ill-placed fireballs by Raz Nasai, some area of effect magic was cast in that room, which unfortunately knocked Quen unconscious. As Quen was laying there, slowly bleeding, unfortunately, Devaney did not catch a glimpse of Quen laying there at first. Raz Nasai offered to aid in this, trying to end the battle finally, as Fenthaza has fallen. Her last 2 loyal guards stand in front of Devaney. Devaney has been turned into a giant constrictor snake by Raz Nasai. And has been getting beaten on by these 2 creatures as she is beating on the remaining 2. It is a battle of attrition at this point, and we have yet to see what will come of it. And with that, we will pick up where we left off last time, as our party seems unaware of what's happening. And actually, before we jump in, I should mention, unfortunately, Para is unable to be with us this evening, so we are going to be running paddle on RP Lite. This means, unfortunately, as assuming everything goes well and the party will eventually all meet up together, we are going to come back to the initial meeting of Paddle and our remaining adventurers next time we are together. So that, because I don't know how Paddle's planning on this interaction occurring or what Paddle would say, so we're just going to sort of gloss over it and flash back to it when she's here. Just so you don't think we're being too weird with it. That being said, as my friend Michael likes to say, so the story is told. We are at the top of the initiative with Paddle, who is still just, for lack of a better term, paddling around the room, or rather the entire ruins. Has now made its way down into this room after seeing a very lovely elven sculpture.
Am I greater resto or lesser resto?
In terms of getting yourself out of Stoneface?
Yes.
That's greater.
Great.
Don't worry, you've got somebody with a charm if she survives. All she's going to do is live.
That won't help me. Okay.
No, but I think at level 8 you might get something that could help somebody else. Don't know, though. Not a druid.
I've already got that spell that can protect me from becoming petrified, but, you know, I'd have to prepare that every day. Which I'm going to start doing.
Do it before you're petrified.
No more pixies, no more giant apes, just no petrification.
Okay, so this is going to bring us to Nasai, who is going to, again, sort of push his way, well, rather, Devaney is now out in the hall as a giant snake, so he really doesn't have much to do. He's going to slither out at the door, look at the first one in front of Devaney. He can't do that anymore. So he is just going to go for a good old-fashioned hold person on the humanoid creature in front of you. Or rather, these are not... let me take a look at this. He would know that's better than the DM would. Okay, yeah, so that is actually not going to work, so he is not going to do that.
Okay.
He is going to cast Blindness Deafness on it.
Okay.
And he is going to attempt to blind the creature. Because it is not a humanoid, so...
Oh, they don't count as humanoids?
Nope.
Creatures?
Monstrosities.
Monstrosities. Oh.
So this one is going to make its Constitution saving throw. And it makes it, so it is not blind as he ducks back in. That brings us to Devaney.
Alright,
I'm
going to attempt to, actually I think I will, but I'm going to grapple this creature, and I'd like to use my nat 20 right off the bat.
Okay, okay, so you're going just for, not a constrict attack, you're just trying to, like, grapple him?
Well, constrict attack is, yeah.
Okay, so do me a favor, click on the constrict attack. I think that's a saving throw. I don't think it's an attack roll for the giant snake.
It does say hit.
Okay, go ahead and just click it for me. Oh yeah, so that'll... Okay, so do me a favor, just click it a second time. It will roll... Well, actually, let me...
It,
Okay. So that, come on.
27 points damage. No.
So that is enough as you reach out and grab onto that one and start to crush, and you literally can feel in your body the ribs and bones start to crack
Ew.
as you crush this creature within your coils.
Feels really good.
And that removes him from the field.
And I would like to move back 1 square, just enough so that Roz can see out the door if he wants to make another go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he can see around you easy enough because at this point, given your size, you're pretty much laying down the most of the length of this corridor. So when he comes out, he can easily poke his head through.
Alright, as long as he can see out, then I'll just stay where I
Okay.
am.
And that'll bring us over to this. Okay, Sarah, do me a favor. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me. You're just gonna let him see how he reacts to seeing his friend get crushed. And he's angry. He is not.
Scared. Oh.
He is not afraid. He is just a little PO'd.
He pees his pants a little, because peeing your pants is cool.
He is not too happy with Devaney right now, so he is charging in and going to make his 2 attacks at Devaney with his sword. So let's see here.
Oh wait, who was the... No, that was Friday
just
with Chris Hansen having the nat 20.
And actually, thank you for saying that. Let me, as the nat 20 has been used early, we're going to remove that off of Devaney's image,
Probably for the best.
as it was burnt first thing to get rid of that one. So now this creature, as it comes running up with the scimitar out, you can tell it's got blood pouring out of its mouth. It is not looking in good shape. But is it going to do whatever it can to kill you before you can kill it? First attack at the giant snake is a 6. That is going to miss. Second. Come on, roll.
Come on, all the...
As a 17. I'm
no.
pretty sure that's going to
That will
hit.
hit.
Yeah.
So that is
Yep.
7 points of slashing damage.
Snake, it's still up.
Nice.
Snake is still in play, and that ends its turn. And I think that is
Solana.
literally everyone we've got up. Yeah,
No,
Solana's
Solana's gonna, like, just stand there, like that. Just see that.
The Solarian is currently snoring on the ground. Unfortunately, Fantaza and Quen, that brings us back to Paddle. And that will bring on... Okay, so Paddle...
Can Paddle
is
just,
going
like, loot the room right here? For us?
Let's see. Paddle's down here, so we're going to making the way through. Okay, come on. Okay, I think that's about right. Okay, so Paddle eventually makes way through over there. That'll bring us back over to Raz, who has not got much
Come on,
left in the
Raz.
way of damage. So it's going to stick his head out there again and try blinding it again. Go ahead and do me a favor, roll another d20, Sarah.
Hmm? Roll. What?
Okay, and that is not enough.
Yeah.
So even with its modifier on it, Devaney, you as the giant snake notice this immediately, as the eyes seem to cloud over in this milky white appearance, and you can see it. This creature looks like it's panicking now, as it's sort of reaching out and blindly just sort of swiping with the sword, not really in any real direction. And the creature is now considered blinded.
Oops. I don't know what I did. I clicked fudge. I don't know what that means, so I clicked it.
Literally, you're telling the system you want to fudge the dice and -1 off of it,
Oh, I should do that percentage.
which is entertaining, but it doesn't really do anything. Like if you,
Oh, yeah.
it rolls just plus or minus how it
That's not
does the
helpful.
number.
Okay.
So you will now have advantage on your attacks against it, Devaney.
Yeah, go Devonay.
Should you choose to attack it.
Well, I'm going to attack, and I'm going to try to construct yet again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is Devney, why don't you tell us how this goes down?
Well, the snake senses that, the prey in front of it is very, very panicked and goes in for the literal blind spot and manages to throw a couple coils around it and squeeze it till it pops.
Ew, that was good. It's like a pinball.
And as the snake literally pops this creature in its coils, you can feel, Devonay, it's a rather odd sensation for you as you've been spattered with blood during battle before, but never have you literally crushed it from within, and it just, you can feel the blood pouring over your body right now. It's a very odd sensation.
Warm blood.
You're a cold-blooded creature, so you can really feel that. Temperature disparity, I guess.
And with that, you are now out of initiative.
Yay!
It only took 2 weeks. That was a long fight. Because a lot of us went down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, as Rasnasai notices that it seems to be dying down, he sort of broaches forward a little forward, sticks his head out the door, and then eventually drops concentration on the giant, on his polymorph spell, which the DM just realized should have happened before. Oh no, because it's not concentration. DM did not mess up. Nearly pulled a Devonay on that one. So as
Gwen.
So as the battle ends, Devonay, you find yourself slowly sort of shrinking back down into your own form. As Raz is sitting on the other side of Solarin's unconscious body. Looks over at you. It would seem it is finally done.
Devonay's taken a moment. She's still not feeling great. Thank you. I don't think we would have made it if not for you.
You are probably right, but this she is dealt with.
Yeah. I think my companion is in the other room. I don't know how he is. I haven't heard anything. I'll maybe go and check. Do you know where? I guess you wouldn't know her name. She has a bow. She likes flowers and plants. Would be.
He sort of thinks for a second. No, I have not seen one of that. This one came running out of the river, though. He seemed rather upset about something.
Well, probably that's where she was. I wonder why she's not here.
Well,
Can
perhaps
we?
he can tell
Do we
you
have?
once he wakes up.
Do we? Well, do we have to use the portals again, or can we walk back to where that was?
It is easy enough to walk.
All right, I'll maybe find something on Phantaza. Maybe that cube is there.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna go over, and obviously I see what I see.
So as you walk over and start getting closer, you can see Phanthasa looking in extremely rough. Well, more than extremely rough. Phantasa's dead.
A little bit of frost.
Yeah, as you start looking through and checking, looking at Phanthasa, looking down for a second. Then you realize, looking at the ground behind Phanthaza, you can see Quen laying there, motionless.
So,
Clasped in Quen's hand is a small bag.
Devaney's first thought is, that's not Quen's. Where did he get it? And then it dawns on her that he's not moving. And he's not moving. So she's kneeling down and looking frantically at him and sort of shaking him, and then realizing what has happened, and sort of sitting back on her heels. Deep breath, and then picking up that bag that he was grasping and checking it out.
And as you open the bag, you can hear some coins jingling in it, but right on top of it, you see the cube you were looking for.
Bitch.
Is Quen wearing the bag of holding?
I know Quen was typically the one who had it, so we'd say, yeah, it's probably tossed over Quen's shoulder somehow. You can see in Quen's hand, bookmark is with Quen, literally Quen's belongings are. It doesn't look like anyone touched Quen after whatever happened in the room that caused this.
So I would tuck the pouch into the bag of holding, and then, if bookmark was out, I would sheath it and then sort of gather Quen up and pick him up, and turn around and walk back to where Rosnasai is. I didn't really care about whatever else is on Phanthaza, really.
Okay, so easy enough. So as you pick up Quen's body, Rosnasai has slithered his way out of the room, carrying with him the unconscious Solaren. And as the group of you start making your way back, well, rather the three of you and Quen's body heading back towards that initial room, you run into a small goblin who, seeing the group of you, almost seems to slightly panic a little bit. But for reasons we'll find out next time, decides to follow you back over to Roz's primary throne room.
Yeah, Devaney doesn't have enough energy to care about goblins at the moment.
Give me a second. We're just going to drag our party over there. Devaney, you vanished. I'm assuming you moved yourself.
I think I'm under Solaren.
Oh. That means I have got you with me then. Okay. So as you guys start coming back down this hallway, let me shift ping over where you are. Then we're just going to...
Oh wait, I was like this.
Yeah, so you were under there. So, Devaney, you immediately notice as you're sort of walking side by side with Nasai at this point, coming to this sort of uneasy alliance. You immediately can see, as you enter this room, across the river, a stone image of Solana, hands up in front of her face.
Oh dear. Well, why don't you put Solaren down in a corner somewhere, and maybe there's somewhere we can, maybe take a long nap.
You have 4 really nice pillows in the bag of holding.
Yeah, we do.
Solana doesn't know that.
No, but
You're all welcome.
So, Nasai sort of looks at you a little and says, "You try my patience a bit, but suppose you did deal... Well, I suppose you were of some minor assistance in dealing with Phanthaza."
Well, we just need to get up enough energy so we can leave. We got what we came for, or at least I picked it up.
We can rest in my back chamber. Touch nothing. And as he starts to walk back in, you can... Are you following him in as he's going back into that initial room you saw with all the coins and everything else around?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Still carrying Quen.
So as you guys make your way into that room, he puts Solaren down on the ground. Again, not gently, not ungently. It's just sort of, you know, I'm done with this. You guys see that same sort of animalistic Yanti that you guys had been in battle with earlier. Actually, I don't know if I think you two may have been gone before it came into the room. That Solaren was beating up on him, was beating up on Solaren, is still in the room, sort of standing watch as you guys are hunkering down.
Well, I'm going to go tend to my other friend as if these two will be safe here.
For the moment, they will.
Alright then, I'll fish in my pockets for that charm from Melik and go outside again.
Okay. Only takes you a few moments to get over to Solana. You do have to swim. As with the...
Okay.
Well, actually, you know what? I don't know, actually, now that I say that. I don't know if a spell effect that's not concentration would disappear if the spellcaster is dead.
It was a ritual, so...
Yeah, we'll say for brevity's sake you can walk across for now. We can always fix it later if we must.
Yeah, you can always drown later, Devin.
I'm not worried about drowning, it's the leeches.
There throw leeches here?
You don't know.
River water.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'll do whatever needs to be done with the charm to unpetrify her.
So
And sort of, you know, put one hand on each side of her to catch her if she's gonna fall over or something.
So it takes you a couple of moments as you start going through everything, and you start to feel the very granite-like stature of Solana start to slowly soften, and you feel her body starting to almost start to go a little limp in your arms. Solana, as
we have to kill everyone. And the dude.
Solana,
Yes.
I have good news, and I have bad news. Which one do you want to hear first?
The good news.
We found the cube.
Oh, good.
Xanthaza had it.
Oh.
There's no more fighting. We're all good.
Okay.
Raznasai is actually nice. Well, for a snake person, but he helped us out.
Okay, good. What's bad news?
Bad news? Quen died.
That's really funny, Devin. That's really
It's not
funny,
funny,
actually. That's a terrible joke. That's a really horrible joke. You should not lead off with that on your comedy routine.
Solana. It's true.
You wouldn't have let him die. He was smart. He was agile. He was feisty.
Solana,
You don't mean
come
that,
see.
do you?
And Devaney's just gonna start walking back across the river.
I'll follow. You don't mean that, right, Devaney? He's fine. He's just sleeping. I can revive him.
Devaney just has this sort of blank, like, glassy stare almost.
Okay. I got healing
Like-
words. I've got a cure wounds left, level 3. That'll take care of him.
As you two slowly make your way back in, Solana, you notice immediately as you're walking in, you can see both Solaren and Quen laying on the ground.
I run to Quinn's side. And I go, okay, I've got this potion. I don't know what it does, but I'm gonna shove it down your throat. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And then I start shaking Quen. I'm like, Quen, you gotta wake up. Quen. Quen, I healed you. You don't understand. Devaney, what happened?
Well, we were in a pretty tight spot, and there was just Quen and I, and then Roz Nasai came and helped us out, but there was too many enemies, and, you know, spells have area of effect, and it was just...
Quen, I didn't mean it when you fireballed all this grog. That was okay. And we both had these Chandala days, and we're buddies, and we were gonna make them into rings once we got back to Port Yanzaru. And we're friends now. And you can't be going, Quen.
Devon is going to leave Solana where she's at, giving her a moment, and go and shake Solaren as hard as she needs to rouse him.
He's pretty well tuckered out. He'd either need healing or he's going to be another couple of hours.
Okay, I do believe we have a couple of medicine kits in the bag of holding. Would that work?
Oh, well, that would stabilize him. He's already
Okay.
stable.
Here,
It's
I'll give
literally
you
he
one of
just
my
he needs
organic-
rest or he needs healing.
I'll give you one of my
Okay, then
organic...
I'm just gonna leave them there.
Oh.
He's okay. For
So
now.
as you see Devaney sort of shaking him a little bit, and that almost momentary panic comes over, you can see his chest is rising and falling
Okay.
somewhat peacefully. He looks like he's getting a very restful sleep.
I am going to just healing word him off like that and just go back to Quen.
Okay. So as Devaney is shaking him a little bit and you fire off your healing word, Solaren, you find
Like,
your
second
eyes...
nature, like, I'm not even like paying attention. I just healing word and then I go back to Quen. And I have his head in my lap and I'm just like protecting him.
So as your eyes come to Solaren, you see Devaney shaking you a little bit.
Devaney, what happened?
There was a fight. I think Roz Nasai knocked you out or something. He carried you over to where I was. Started
Right.
to help us out.
And then he staggers to his feet as best he can. And he sees Quen. It's Quen, no.
Yeah.
I search Quen for the Chansildoni. I can't even pronounce it. And I because we cut it in half and I put them together and I'm like, I'm gonna make this for us. And it's gonna be okay. And I'm just gonna hug him continuously.
As the group is sitting there and this is going on, Raz, sitting in his seat at the far back of the room, looks over at Devaney. It appears that those of you who can be aided at this point are. You mentioned something about going into the tomb. What do you seek there?
We seek to end the curse.
Raz looks at you, his eyes get a little almost concerned looking for a moment. Wait, the source of this plague is in the tomb.
As best we can tell.
He sort of gestures to his face and body, all of the heavy bandages. This is what I have taken to attempt to slow my own decay. If you are seeking to end this, we have some skill here in preservation.
What does that mean? Can you help Quen?
He looks over at you a little bit and almost, it's hard to tell if it's a smirk. It's hard to read his expression under the bandages, but you can see something about his mouth moved a little bit without saying anything. And there is nobody who can help him unless the curse is dealt with.
Can you preserve?
I can do as well as I have done for myself. But given your difficulty here, I fear you will not fare well in the tomb.
I don't think Quen would want to be bandaged, and he's too pretty for that.
If you are quick enough in the tomb, your friend will have nothing to worry about.
Okay.
If you delay, well, there's only so much we can do to prevent decomposition. But and he snaps, and you watch the guard in the corner sort of jump to attention. Go. Find her and bring her here. And all of a sudden that auntie disappears out of the room. If you are serious about doing this, you will... let us say I do not need it known to those within the tomb that I have aided in any way, shape, or form anyone entering. Should you wish to walk out of here alive, you will be taking, shall we say, my emissary with you.
Emissary? What do you mean by that? I don't know what an emissary is.
You will be taking one of my people with you.
Oh.
The things you will face in the tomb are worse than what you faced here.
Probably.
And 3 out of the 4 of you fell. I do not like your odds.
Fair enough.
But take your rest for a few. It will take them a while to bring my person down.
I'm gonna start druid crafting flowers all over Quen. Different colored flowers to make them all pretty.
So what would the rest of you be doing during the few moments while Sloan
And
is
doing
doing
a short
this?
rest. Sorry.
Stephanie is going to sit down in a corner, sort of where she's at, and make sure she's not sitting on any coins, make it more comfortable, and start, cleaning blades and things like that. It's sort of a relaxing thing to do.
And Solaren just collapses backwards into the coins. He can barely hold himself up at this point.
Hey, you've got a rather nasty welt on the side of your head.
Yeah. Yeah, he feels
Hangover,
that power.
headache. It's eventually, a little time goes by. It's probably about 20, 30 minutes. You start to hear almost like rushed footsteps.
Can we roll hit dice?
You can if you'd like to.
Okay. Just a couple someone dead. Ooh,
Come
nice.
on, roll 20. Where? Oh, there it is.
Okay. I'm good. Well, decent.
Okay. Let me just say how excited I am to be out of the Fane where roll 20 will like me a little more. Okay.
Freedom of movement. Yes, freedom of movement. Always having this prepared.
Okay. So as you guys are sort of taking a quick breather, eventually you start to hear footsteps coming up to the doorway. And as the doorway, entering into the doorway, Lennon, why don't you go ahead and tell the party what they see?
Oh, you're muted.
Once you're unmuted.
Sweetheart.
Hooray, wasn't me. I'll drink to that.
Sauntering through the doorway, a dark-skinned Yuan-Ti pureblood. She's wearing silks and studded leather. She walks in, her hands are behind her back, and she's considering the room for but a moment, and then bows to Raz Nasai, and then proceeds forward. She turns to her right, looks at the goblin, looks at it like it's a morsel of food, rather, and then turns to her left and takes a look at Solana, considers her for a moment, but her expression doesn't change. She also sees Solana as food.
Ooh.
She pauses for a moment at the body of Quen and she says, "Ah, and who is this?"
This was our friend.
Ah, so tragic. So young.
I love the accent, sorry. I'm like smiling. At the same time, I should be sad. But this is so awesome.
She walks forward towards Raz Nasai, bows again and says, "My liege." And then turns to her right and sees Devaney, and walks up to Devaney, pauses for a moment. "And who might you be?"
Devaney's sitting on the floor, polishing a slightly greenish blade, and looks up. "I'm Devaney."
"Devaney, I am Esparta, the Night Norn." She extends her hand.
Devaney stands up, and you can see she's still covered in blood, dried.
Good.
Her hair is now a lovely strawberry blonde.
Mm.
You can see all the blades she's carrying and the glaive on her back. And she stands up and says, "Lady Devaney Farblack."
"And where do you come from, Lady Devaney Farblack?"
"Sword Coast."
"Ah, this is far for you, no?"
"Travel around."
I don't even know where I come from.
I appreciate a well-prepared woman.
That was the weather. Sorry, the rain.
Indeed. And Devaney just sits back down and goes back to cleaning a blade.
She goes to Raz Nasai's side and asks, So, are these the ones?
Yes, these are the. I thought them fools, but they're the ones who mean to enter the tomb.
The tomb. How interesting.
It seems.
And what do they seek?
It seems the curse that plagues me is caused from within. So it behooves me to send them on their way to save my own life, and their friend will remain here to be preserved as well as one can be for their return.
Ah, so you seek to enter the tomb to save your friend's life.
Yeah.
And my master is sending me along to help you, yes?
I suppose.
Ah, well, I shall be ready to depart upon the morrow.
Okay. Is there
And
anything useful around the room? Besides gobs of coin.
Wait, say what now?
Is there anything useful around the room?
Go ahead and make a perception. Are you like rooting around it, or are you just looking?
I'm just looking.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check.
Nope.
So as you look around, you can see there's a whole bunch of coins.
Yeah, we don't
Other than that, you really don't see anything. You know, he's got a table off in the distance, and you can see that on the table there's a small clay urn.
That's not very helpful.
You also see that there's a small, on that same table that you can see the clay urn, you see a small statue of a strange frog-looking creature with tentacles and 3 eyes.
Do you own that creature?
Ross sort of looks at you for a moment, and looks over to see where you're looking at the statue, and he just sort of laughs.
It's not nice. We don't like it.
No one owns that. It is a statue. It is a mere piece of artwork worth some coin, but as you can see, it is
Silly. So, are we staying here till tomorrow?
Certainly not in this room, but if you have need, there's hay in the slave pits.
No. I don't do sleep pits.
And I
Another
suppose
room?
if you leave the Fane, you should be able to find one of the houses out there must be abandoned for you to use.
Maybe we should just tolerate the slave pits for one night.
No, I'm not tolerating any sleep pits. Fine.
There's a lot of bodies in there.
Yeah, can we have one more fancy pillow?
Solana, what do you mean one more?
Oh yeah, we have... Well, we've got the goblin with us.
They're
No.
bringing him along, or her? It's hard to tell
I
with
don't know.
goblins.
Goblin,
But
we want to come with us.
wait, a second. How do you know about pillows?
Oh yeah, I don't know about pillows. I'm
What's
not
in the
staying
bag of
on straw
holding?
in the sleep pits. I'd rather leave the
Let's look.
train.
Well, we can go back to where we were.
Okay, let's go back to where we are. But
So-
should we leave Quinn here with Rasnasai, or should we take Quinn?
We can't carry Quan around with us.
In our hearts.
Better to leave him here if Rosnazai can take care of the body.
Okay, I go to Rasnasai, get in his bandaged face, and I say, "You got a pinky promise you're gonna take care of Quinn. This is a sacred oath among my people."
He looks at you a little weird and extends a pinky towards you.
Okay, and I shake it. Alright. I trust you now, a little more. Alright.
He sort of turns and cocks his head, looking at Aspartha a little bit like,
We'll be back. And we'll fix your curse, and we'll fix Quen, and everything will be hunky-dory again. Except it never was, because we're in Cholt. But that's beside the point.
Rasnasai looks at the group of the four of you, including Paddle, and then over at Aspartha and says, the four of you meet at the... Are you staying within here? Where are you staying?
Right outside the Fane, because I don't want to sleep in your slave pits.
Depends if we're going back to the house we were in right beside the river or not.
Whichever you want.
Raz is just looking at the group of you.
Okay, we'll be right in the house by the river.
Fine. Circle around to the northern entrance of our area, around the circular wall. I will have Aspartha meet you there.
We can do that.
Yes. Meet me there at dawn.
Dawn's a little early, but okay.
Solana, you're an elf.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I forgot. Okay. I'm fine. Dawn's fine. Whatever.
Alright. Devaney stands up.
As the group starts to lead you out, a couple of the guards bringing you back out the southern entrance that you came through. We will jump forward.
Also, before we go, I make sure to grab the bag of holding and also bookmark from Quen.
Okay, are you leaving anything of Quen's belongings on Quen?
I don't know what the rest he would have had.
That and my Swordbreaker dagger.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. I also... No, I don't have the fiddle. That's just...
No, the fiddle got burnt by Melik. Things that I would think you would probably want to take, just so they don't get abused, beyond Quen's weapons, probably his spellbook.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
definitely.
Component pouch.
So anything of Quen's that we wouldn't be using, I would just throw in the bag of holding
Right.
and take note of them.
And then, it looks like Quen had one greater healing potion.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And that way you've, again, the obvious ones, things that were looted from artists you already have, but things like the spell book, you never know what somebody would do if they got their hands on that. And then if you do manage to win the day and be able to bring Quen back, and his spell book is missing.
The control for the what's it called? What did we name her?
Bernice.
Bernice.
Bernice. I knew it started with a B. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's still on Quen's head. But Bernice is... Where'd you guys leave Bernice? I want to say you left her up on the
By the
cliff.
canoe somewhere.
At the cliff. At the top of the cliff.
Yeah.
That's where we left her. So, if you want a golem, it's worth a lot of money in Port Nyanza.
But that's it, we're leaving here. We're going all the way back to Port Nyanza to sell the golem. For some money and a
I
spell
have
book.
a glaive I need to return. We can go do that.
Yeah, we've got like a bunch of like fine art pieces and stuff like that. We've got a lot of gold too, I realize.
Man.
We could just buy Port Nyanza.
We could buy,
Let's
like,
just
a
buy the
prince
tomb.
sword. Yeah, we could buy like a
Buy the
Lord
tomb.
Prince right now.
So, as you guys make your way back over, we are going to jump to a different map to get out of this accursed one that is so bleeding slow. Find ourselves back in Omu. we bring ourselves into Omu. Got to switch tokens. Okay. Oh, come on. Okay, so we're going to. Oh, come on. I get to see roughly the same size here. There we go. So, Devaney, Solana, Solaren, it's fairly easy for you guys to make your way back over to the house where you guys had been camped out. I can get rid of.
She did. We don't like her.
You guys make your way back. Anything you would be doing during the. You've got basically good, like 65 to 70% of the day left. You guys went in fairly early in the morning.
Sniffling.
And.
Being really sad about friends.
Hey, welcome along to the adventure. As you guys all sort of settle in, Solana, you notice Meek has been a little quiet since the whole petrification.
I will spend some quality time with Meek.
Sort of signs up against you. It seems Meek can sort of tell you're a little out of it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I bet her.
Devaney is going to find the alchemy jug and ask for water and have like a bath.
Fair enough.
And Slaren's he's just kind of reflecting right now. He's just kind of quiet.
Okay, so as the day seems to roll on for you guys, afternoon starts to turn into evening. You guys have somewhat quiet evening meal. Are you guys setting up watch?
Yeah, we would be.
Okay, so
I'll take first watch.
Devaney wants last.
okay. Let's learn which one are you taking.
I'll take second.
Okay. Now, is anyone taking watch with this little goblin who has sort of come along for the journey, or?
I'll take first and second watch.
Okay, so then I'll
Slaren, you okay taking third?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take
Sorry
third.
about that.
Okay. What do we have? Solana, then we have Solana and Paddle, Solaren and Devaney. Okay, Solaren and Devaney, I need, what do I need? Perception checks. DM has a brain, it works sometimes.
Uh-oh. Where did it go? Oh no. I hit the wrong button.
You left us.
I did.
Oh no! We have lost us a Devaney. She has fallen into a pit filled with slime.
Into the void.
No, not that again.
Wow. Yeah, just be a couple of moments, folks, while we're waiting on Devaney to jump back in. Espartha, is there anything you would be doing to prep for tomorrow's journey?
Yes, Espartha will be casting Find Familiar
Alrighty then.
evening, and you will meet her familiar in the morning, but it is a flying serpent, flying snake.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, that is something Devaney wants to do during the night, is resummon a Volta.
Okay.
And he's still going to be a bird.
Devaney, can you try reconnecting your camera for me?
Yep.
Assuming you're all the way in yet?
Just still loading.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw your roll come through. That's why I figured I'd check first. Okay. So, easy enough, and Sparta, you're in your own little, guess I'll say, commune, your own community. So there's no need for a watch for you. You guys are pretty safe in your own little realm. The night seems to go through. Aslana, its first watch is a little rough, just sitting there in the quiet, you and me. Just remembering everything that's gone through. It's been a long day. As first watch comes to a close and second watch starts, you get Paddle up, and the two of you presumably have some sort of a conversation, but we know what Paddle would have been talking to you about next time. As let me check here. Eventually, you guys, the two of you, go and wake up Solaren. Solaren again, most of the same. It seems to just be a very, I guess I'll phrase it, just sort of a easy night. As the night goes on, you guys end up waking up Devaney for the last watch. And Devaney, as you're going through and watching, you start to hear things in the distance a little bit. And of course, I didn't have it in here, so I got a foot to the book. As you're resting there, you start to hear what sounds like those slowly shambling feet of zombies.
Oh, lovely. I'll stick my head out the door and see if I can see anything.
Okay.
If they're coming toward us or not, or just
they seem to
by.
just sort of be idly ambling around this area just to the south of you near the tomb, near the shrine.
I will keep an eye out specifically for them, but if they are not noticing us, then I will just leave them be.
Oh, okay. And what we will do is, it's getting to be just about 9:15, so we're going to take our break a little early this evening. So we can top off our drinks and everything, and to give our players a couple of moments, as Sparta was already aware of this, but our party may or may not have had a chance to look over this themselves. They have now made it to level 8. So they'll have a couple of moments to roll up, see how they do for their hit point increase, get themselves ready, and then when we get back from break, we will be jumping into our meeting with Aspartha and see if the group really decides to go head for the tomb. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few moments. Thanks, and we'll see you soon. everyone. Sorry for the delay. Took us a couple of moments to top off our beverages and get our group up to level 8. As we return and the morning sun starts to creep over the chasm walls, our group finds themselves on the northern side of basically the Yanti's home base. And as they make their way there, just outside the entranceway, they run into Espartha waiting for them.
Ah, right on time. You are very useful, I notice.
Thank you.
She's sitting on the wall. She's looking down and speaking to you, and you see wrapped around her wrist is a feathered flying snake in a multitude of colors. This is Tochil. He'll be
Tochi?
She doesn't acknowledge that. He will be joining us, or me, rather.
Oh, I wanted to find the Triceratops with the broken spirit. Crap. I'm sorry. What was the name of your familiar? I really need to write it down, or else I'll forget it.
Tochil. Toxil.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so as the group finds themselves together, what is the party's plan for the day?
I don't know. Are we gonna go to the Tomb of Annihilation or something? I mean, the tomb. We don't know that it's
Tomb of the Nine
Annihilation.
Gods.
Tomb of the Nine Gods.
The Tomb of the Nine Gods awaits us.
That's what I was afraid of. Hey, look, that's my dog.
You hear Devaney look over at the bird on her shoulder and say, "No, you can't eat that one either." And then, ruffle the feathers a little bit. And, well, I guess if we're gonna go do this, now is a good time as any.
Can I say I cast Water Walk as a ritual on us before we left?
Sure.
Okay. I cast Water Walk as a ritual on us before we left.
So as you guys start to make your way over, and Espartha's from here. Espartha, you know exactly where it is. Our party stumbled upon it. They know right where it is.
Oh.
It's a good 700-800 feet away, so it takes you the better part of about an hour to get over there. This again, even though you're still, we'll phrase it, you're in the know now.
Mm-hmm.
You've got aid from the ruler, but there's still the issue there of the kobolds wandering around. You guys are still being a little careful with your movements, assuming. And eventually, you guys find yourselves... Oh, come on, system. I'm just grabbing our tokens over here. Okay. For some reason, everybody got shrinky dink on the screen. There we go. So we will jump over here. As our players find themselves, as our group has found themselves standing somewhat near, a little nearer than Devaney would like,
It's
to
all
a
black.
large black obelisk.
No, my screen is all black.
Really?
Yeah.
Is anyone
so-
else's screen all black?
Yeah, me too.
Hold on, shift.
No, I can see.
Ping! Got visibility?
No.
No, I snapped to where you snapped me, but I
I
still see
can
black.
see inside the tomb, I think.
see
I'm not
anything.
looking at the right page.
Should be. Yes, let's go. Don't you over here? Can you all
Okay.
see?
No.
Now
Nice.
it's all black.
Yeah, it's still black for me too.
Hmm.
Ah, I see something.
There
Oh,
we
now
go.
I see.
There we go.
Devaney, still black for you?
Nope, I can see what I'm supposed to see.
Okay. Let's push the obelisk. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Lana,
Let's not. Let's not. I'm
I will
totally
tackle
kidding.
you and pin you to the ground if you do that.
Okay. Yeah, let's not. Okay. So we went up here before, and we went over here.
No,
Yeah,
there's
so
that side room with all those statues.
Yeah, and then
But there's
This-
one
this was-
missing.
this was the door, right?
Yeah, so
Yes.
from when you guys remember being here before,
Mhm.
let me jump
At least two of
over.
us.
Yeah,
3 of us have
Laren,
not been here before.
Laren has not been
Yeah, I
here
guess it
before.
was just us two.
Question?
Okay, so fair enough. Let me run through it. So, as you're walking in, Solaren, you notice the rest of the party seems to be at least a little familiar with this specific area. It looks like they've been here before. You notice standing in front of you as you guys are getting closer, about a 15-foot tall, solid black obelisk. Slightly cracked stone standing in front of you. Behind it, a dark passageway is obscured by withered vines and creepers hanging down. A smaller tunnel appears to carry off to the east.
Is there any writing on the obelisk? I forgot.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask.
Yeah.
Can I see
There
any
was a
writing?
Yeah,
map
so-
on the obelisk.
As Solaren, as you start to walk up to the obelisk, you see on the bottom of it, and I will reshare this for everyone.
Sorry, I probably have it somewhere.
So, yeah, so all players.
Oh yeah, I have that. The
Show to
first one.
players. As you look at it, you see, fear the night when the Forsaken One ceases. Death's mantle and the seas dry up, and the dead rise, and I, Sirak, the Eternal, reap the world of the living. Those who dare enter take heed. The enemies oppose. One stands between them in darkness. It hides. Don the mask or be seen. Speak no truth to the doomed child. The keys turn on inside only.
Yeah, that still doesn't make sense.
Okay.
I thought it would after stewing in my brain for,
And
past.
Devaney and Solana have already read this.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I
Stay clear of the obelisk. It has a strange effect.
Solaren,
So I'm
yeah, I
gonna-
just keep my distance after
I'm gonna go down this hallway thing again
from the obelisk.
because I forget what it was like.
Okay. So who's currently as you start walking down, this is where you remember all these statues
Yeah.
were lined in. And where did you guys put all of the cubes?
We still
They're
have them.
currently in a bag of holding, in a sack.
Oh, okay, so it's your,
Plus, besides the one that
besides the one that
one we got from Fantasia.
Yeah. So as you walk through, you can see again, moving down the hall, you see on the north side a Jaguli. On the south side, one of the Sioux monsters, the weird monkey-looking things. The next statue you see on the north side, an Al Mirage. On the south side, a Zorbo. Next, you see an Iblis and a Froghemoth. And then lastly, you see a Grung and a Commodon. So out of the 9 cubes you have collected, you see images that match, or statues that match 8 images that are on the cubes.
Okay, so which one are we missing? Shingabi.
The only one
what did
that
call it?
the only one you don't see
Is the
is
human.
Unk.
Unk. Thank you. Circle of writing, journey.
So what is the party doing?
So, if I go in, well, this shrine must be around here somewhere. Like, I mean, the statue. I'm going to look around.
I wrote Unk somewhere, and I
maybe-
can't remember where. And it's just bothering me.
Look in between the statues, or like see if I could see behind them, or like at the end, or where like Solana's
We have
standing. Maybe
sending
there's
stones?
a secret door or something.
You have one sending stone.
Oh,
Yeah, we didn't pick up the other one from that Ventaza.
no. That might have been.
So go ahead and make an investigation check.
We might have the sending stone because I stole her purse.
Oh, yeah. You did.
Yep, inside the bag was only the cube and a bunch of money.
Gotcha.
Ooh, how much
Things in the
money?
one you grabbed. You don't see anything, Devaney. You see exactly what you saw last time you were in this hallway. The statues seem to just be in their own little alcoves or standing on a little pedestal, and in front of them there are these strange braziers that are lined with this almost like a black. It looks like almost like the crystal you see in propane fire table fire pits.
Okay.
You guys tried lighting them the last time you were here. It didn't work. So, and I'm sorry, Quinn, can you not see?
No, I don't have visibility for Espartha.
Well, I already fixed this once. I apologize. Let me fix this again.
I have visibility for Solana, but not Espartha.
Okay. -5. As sight. Save.
There we go.
Sorry about that.
You're good. And Espartha wants to examine the perimeter of this area. She has a passive perception of 18.
So as you're looking around, you can see what you notice almost immediately is a little ways up, not as far up as the top of the cliffside, but about halfway up, you notice that there are 3 gargoyles sitting about halfway up that seem to be watching you as you move.
3 gargoyles.
Oh, yeah. I don't like those.
Yeah, gargoyles.
Let's see, I got
That
99
was
strong. I've got
such a
everything
long
but
time
Unk
ago.
Shrine. Can you tell me what was that Unk Shrine?
What do you mean?
Like,
You mean
No,
the, for lack of a better term, I'll say the trap, what you guys went through to get the...
yeah, sorry, I just can't find it.
So, Unk Shrine was
Unk
the one with the
SS2
flail snail and the
con-
blinding flash of
Yes.
light.
Okay, Unk, I found it. Passes to control all actions with giant squid snail statue. Okay.
Yeah, Solaren, so what are you doing is, you can see Solana and Devaney disappeared down the hallway to the west. You watch Espartha sort of walking around. It seems Paddle is just sort of, sort of meandering a little bit, poking around the area, taking a look.
Yeah, Slaren's just kind of exploring this main chamber here. Doesn't really want to go down one of the tunnels just yet. Just
Okay.
seeing if he can find anything of interest.
I'm gonna go back to the door. Do we know what the door looks like? I forget.
So yes, when you're looking at the door,
Mm-hmm.
the door it looks to be a just a massive slab of stone.
Okay, massive slab.
And then when you're looking at it, the edges of the stone door are marked by carvings of grinning skulls. There are 4 lines engraved at the center of the slab, crossing one another to form a star. Both ends of each line marking the location of a cube-shaped cavity cut into this door, 8 cavities in all.
But we have 9 cubes.
Yeah, Solana, do you see anything that I'm missing something, maybe?
Okay. I've got a passive 18 too. Should I roll perception or investigation for something? Like, what am I missing?
You're looking at the door. There's really nothing to miss on the door.
There's nothing to miss here. It's just a door.
It's a big stone door. It has
Big
a.
stone door.
Let me see. Do I have an image?
What's
of the
wood
front
bricks
door?
and letter handout? Why do we have this?
Hold on here. Where's
Well,
my...
what about in here, Solana?
Okay,
You hear this disembodied voice.
Okay, I'll go back. I'll be like, a lot of statues. Why are there 8 of them and we have 9 cubes?
Yeah, maybe I guess I'm not very good at looking. Maybe you could see something I'm missing, like
What's the
maybe one
9th
of those
cube we got?
fancy secret
Let's see.
doors.
No one knows. You guys haven't pulled it out of the bag and looked at it.
Let's pull out all the let's get out of here. Pull out all the cubes and see which ones match with the statues.
I'd rather not go near that obelisk. I'd rather do it in here.
We all can't really see, and it's a
I
small
got
room.
light, and
Can we go near the...
she picks up a pebble and casts light on it.
What
Okay.
about the door up here, so we don't have to be near the obelisk?
Yeah, because Solaren can't see down that tunnel, so he's kind of
Well,
hesitant to.
Well,
Definitely.
all of a sudden now you can. There's
Yeah.
There's light now.
yeah.
Okay, so we'll put all the cubes on the ground.
All of a sudden, as you start pulling the cubes out, each cube that comes out of the bag of holding, the brazier in front of the statue bursts into flames.
Oh! Well, that was helpful. Good idea, Devanay, for staying in here.
As you pull out the 9th cube, all of a sudden you hear that same whoosh of flame roaring up, coming from the east wall.
Turn around and look.
Looks like a wall.
Huh.
Did you guys hear
I
that?
did. Let me
I'm
see.
gonna go over and check that wall.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
Can I give her help? I'll give you advantage.
Good thing.
Alrighty then, that's... As you sort of feel around, all of a sudden, you find a hidden latch in the wall.
Huh!
And in front of you is a statue of Unk. A brazier
Unk.
burst into flames. Hanging around its neck is a very finely carved golden necklace.
I'm not sure if we should touch that or not.
I'll touch it.
Okay. So as long as you reach out and look at the necklace and Raud, you it feels very nice. It's a small golden pendant and it's shaped like an eye.
Creepy. Can anyone tell me what this does? Or if it's magic? I think I can tell if it's magic. No,
I
one can.
mean, I could try, but I'm
Okay.
not that good at magic. Not like, yeah, not like Gwen.
No.
Here, give it here. I know a thing or two about magic.
Okay. I give it to Sparta.
Not enough.
It's you know it's magic. It doesn't from what you can tell it doesn't you don't get the feeling it's harmful. It's really don't get much more than that.
It's a necklace.
Yep.
I put it on.
Wait, what? I took it.
Now you're sitting in a hallway wearing a golden eye pendant.
Okay.
Ah, this is truly a great piece. Thank you for this, Selena.
I guess if we're gonna be friends, we're gonna have it, because I don't know why. but that's okay for right now. You're welcome. Alright, I come out of the thingy because I don't like Esparta taking my necklace.
Okay, so what are the rest of you doing?
Well, I guess if the cubes serve their purpose in here, maybe
Yeah, maybe
we
the
can go
door-
try thinking about how they go in the door.
Yes.
Esparta, as you come walking out past near the obelisk, you feel a very strong pull from your necklace to the west.
Hmm? What is this? I feel something this way.
The west, like the obelisk west, or west of the
Further
What's
west.
going on?
Oh,
It's still leading you more west.
I will follow. What are you doing with my
Hmm.
necklace?
The door's over here.
Remember the riddle. The key is open from the inside.
Oh, maybe we gotta find a secret entrance?
Now you're starting to feel a pull to the north.
Hmm. Oh?
And as you start pushing towards the heavy bushes and undergrowth in front of you, the necklace and pendant driving you forward, you start reaching through. You find an archway in the cliff face underneath. Stone
Oh.
skulls peering down. Old bones littered on the ground underneath the brush that you've moved.
That's not fun.
Well, well, well.
As the brush finally falls to the ground, a swarm of bats dives down towards you and flies off into the sky.
You know, Solana, if you want this necklace back, why don't you go in there and I'll give it to you?
No.
Ispartha, that's not how we operate.
But I'll go in anyway, because you're a scaredy cat.
Is that such a good idea, Solana?
Sure. I mean, I haven't spent the last 2 episodes petrified or anything. I need some action.
Check for traps.
Okay, I'll check for traps.
Okay, make an investigation check for me.
So good at these.
You need somebody that's good at checking for traps.
No. None of us
Okay,
are
it doesn't seem to be trapped. See another door in the distance.
So I can just drag my token here?
Yep.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Alright.
It's an open path.
I'm gonna look at this door.
Okay. So as you're looking
Doesn't
at
have
this
any-
door, this
yeah.
door looks a little different than the other one. This has it has more square openings on the door. This has 3 rows of 3. Basically, it's a 3x3 grid.
This door has 9 openings like the cubes.
Are there any symbols, or is there any writing, or just...
Is there any way?
Just
no,
3 openings. Or
just
3
3
rows
openings.
with 3 openings on each one.
Try fitting them in.
Okay, I'll start putting cubes in.
If there's no hint.
Yeah, if there's...
Oh, okay.
I'll put Unk in the middle.
Oh, okay. So we've got. Hold on, let me grab my.
Oh, great. That means that this order matters. Okay, so Unk.
Okay, she said you put Unk in the middle.
Yeah.
So
Anyone have
go
any
ahead.
other ideas?
Solaren, Devaney, and Solana. Go ahead and make intelligence checks for me.
I should have used my inspiration.
Devaney and Solaren.
Someone use their inspiration.
Sorry,
Solaren's the only one who's
I don't
got
have
it.
any.
Saving throw, or a...
No,
Yeah,
just a regular intelligence check.
Yeah, Devaney!
It ain't gonna matter though. But go ahead. We'll see if you.
Why?
get
I'm
it.
not,
Well, like, you know.
not on my sheet. I don't know.
Definitely
Just
why.
click on intelligence.
No,
Yeah,
it's
the
not.
word intelligence.
No, like your intelligence number on the left-hand side.
Oh,
Yeah.
Zoe, okay,
The word
sorry.
intelligence. Yeah.
Okay. Devaney, as Solana is mentioning this and you guys are looking at this, You think back to Rubble Scholar.
Oh no.
He told you stories about how different ones of the 9 gods were battling each other at the shrines.
Yes.
Oh, maybe we need to. Maybe there's no set space, but we need to organize them so they're, like there was those images and stories about
Like
those creatures fighting each other.
Oh, so the
Maybe we have to, put
fighting
them near each other.
Ukraine.
Yeah, if they're fighting, I guess they would be next to one another.
I forget who was picture frog human fighting a crane. Oh well.
Solarin, with your check as Solana is sort of mumbling and going over it, you get the idea of maybe that hallway has something to do with it. The hallway has 2 statues looking at each other across the...
Okay, so I will look at the 2 statues and see who's facing off.
Okay.
Ooh. Zoro and Amirage are enemies. I know that.
So you have Moa and Wongo.
Wonga was the
Wongo was the Sioux monster. So you've got a Jagulian Sioux monster, Almirage and Zorbo, Iblis and Froghemoth, and Grung and Kamadan.
Okay, Jakuli. Yeah, got that. Jaguars.
It was just 2 that were in this hallway?
Oh no, the hallway where you guys all were when you started pulling them out and all the braziers burst into flames.
Right.
That's all 8 of them that were facing each other. Unk was at the far end alone.
Okay.
Kamadan.
And Unk is currently in the middle of the doorway as Solana has put him there.
Right.
I can take Unk out.
Well, Unk in the middle makes sense because he wasn't facing another statue.
That's true.
Right.
I don't think he was fighting anybody. Or there wasn't a picture or something.
Okay.
Wish my notes were better. Soul Spear from Shingabi. Alright, kobolds with the Kamadan.
Yeah, so what your group would remember is being told that
Oh no, grungs with the Kamadan.
yes, Unk the flail snail had been living underground, heard the monsters fighting, climbed up, and his light struck the shell. As dawnlight struck the shell, a brilliant flash of light brought a tear to Ubtau's eye, and life was returned. It also stopped the fighting in between the monsters.
Snakes. Man, I used a pen that is sensitive to friction. So some of my notes are missing because I put like hot stuff on the actual notebook. I've got like blind spots.
That's why I use mechanical pencils.
I got it there. I've got one here. Missing a complete like couple words there. Damn friction pens. Okay, we can do this. We can do this. We're all very capable elves and snake people, so we can do this. And whatever Solarian is. Solarian, are you a human?
Half elf.
Half elf. Okay.
Yeah.
You can see in darkness.
Yeah.
No.
So on that note, I still actually, in Roll20, I'm seeing just black on the map, and I can't.
Yeah,
Hold on, let me
half
check your-
elves can't see in the dark.
Yeah, ever since I went down that,
Wait,
I thought half elves
think
have
they
dark vision,
can.
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I should be.
Dude, you see him black because you deleted your token.
I deleted my token.
You're not on the map anymore.
Oh, that would be why.
I see my token right here, but
Oh, where?
Yeah, I don't see him anywhere either.
Are you on the right page, Maddie?
Oh, no, he moved himself inside a wall.
well, I couldn't see anything, so I was just trying to, because once I tried to go down that hallway,
Can you see now?
I couldn't. Yeah, yeah. But so
That would be why you
so
couldn't
this
see.
this hallway right here, when I went down, I couldn't see. I tried to follow everybody, but
Okay, so I'm gonna
Weird.
actually have to draw a damn grid.
so then I was just like lost trying to find solid ground.
Oh,
somewhere.
that's. There you go.
Aha! Thank you.
Half elves in your dark vision.
Hmm. Come on. Versus run.
I don't even know where everybody got to though.
Head back out west,
Hmm.
then south of the obelisk, and then further west.
Okay, thanks.
There's a hidden,
Aha.
thanks to Spartha putting on the pendant,
Okay.
Yes.
led the party to the door with the 9 spots. And you are spot on, Digitio. They are finally doing tomb things.
It's gonna take us a couple episodes to get in the tomb, though.
We should, plan it out before we try to actually put stuff in. Although nothing
saying is-
happened when we put the center one in,
Nope.
so it must be okay.
Okay, so we're just gonna willy-nilly throw them in there.
No, we gotta lay them out on the ground first
just
and make sure that they're all good.
Could have sworn I
Who
had.
knows what's gonna happen if we put them in there and one's wrong?
Nothing
Going by
I
what
swore I
the-
had a
Oh,
door.
wait, Almirage.
The Middle Temple did.
Almirage. The Almirage were also battling something else. Which is why Zorro.
Right, just
Oh, I already have that.
keep in mind every time you heard about the battle, you heard about it from both sides. You went to the Almirage Temple, you heard about the Almirage fighting them. When you went to the Zorbo Temple, you heard about the Zorbo fighting the Almirage.
Yeah. Okay. Kai and Sea Monster.
Now, would the blocks be side by side or like diagonal from each other or across the center?
side by side was my first thought, but
Because they could be like corner to corner and everything goes through the center, like you're drawing like a snowflake or a
Oh, yeah.
hashtag. Not a hashtag, but like a the other one.
It's
I'm marking on this.
Yeah,
It's
or
the,
you could do it,
Like a grid.
but then yeah,
But
Or
you're
you
right,
could do
they
side by
go against
side.
each other.
Or you could do
Almirage
it-
versus Zorro.
I just dragged it over. Where is it? Oh. It's a map.
What?
Hold on. Okay, hopefully you guys can see this. I'm going to bounce you over.
Oh.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Oh, okay.
So you guys have already said you have put Unk in the middle.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what?
Okay. So, the Zorro and the El Mirage have to be on opposite sides.
Hold on. I am jumping through. I'm giving all of you control of these tokens, which are the
Okay.
cubes.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if it's like...
Yeah, yeah. Good idea. No. No. Not that.
No.
Not the last two.
I don't know how to undo what I just drew.
I think they have to be like all like that. Like, the, not a rectangle. Then like this.
Like the snowflake thing?
Yeah, the snowflake thing, like you were saying.
Like opposite of where. Okay.
There we go. Okay. So, we can put Zorro and El Mirage at different ends. So, the El Mirage is...
So start plugging.
Mm.
Of course, you start with the bloody Zorbo and the Almirage, who are the last two on the page. Okay.
El Mirage.
I don't know which one's the Zorbo.
That one looks like Teddy Ruxpin.
That does not look like Teddy Ruxpin, does it? Is it this one that looks like
Yeah.
Teddy Ruxpin?
No,
Evil Teddy
that looks like a hideous demon monkey.
He's like a teddy bear, right?
That one does look like
Gosh.
the monkey, though.
It does look like a hideous demon. Okay.
Looks
So
like an
Frog
evil
Heaver-
poo-flinging monkey of death.
A frog is fighting a crane.
Okay, so Froghemoth, you know, tentacles, 3 eyes.
I think it's that one.
Yeah, fighting a crane.
That's the top row.
Don't
all the way
forget,
to
you
the right.
all have access to these, so any one of you can click and drag the other one if you know, if you recognize the
Okay.
I
symbol.
think that's
Mhm.
that's the crane, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
That
right.
is, Iblis.
Ebus.
Can't remember the...
Ebus jerky
Trickster
tastes
God's
good.
name.
It's Devaney's favorite.
Mhm.
A Sioux monster versus the Jakai.
Okay. So that's the Sioux monster.
Versus the Jakai.
Versus the
Which is-
Jakuri.
Yeah, is that not the leopard guy?
Yeah, that's Leopard
It's
Guy.
a Commodon.
Yeah, leopard guy is the Commodon.
Oh, okay.
The Jakai is the...
The snake.
Oh, the Moray. Yeah, the mistake.
Yeah, that's the spring snake.
Yeah, the spring. Okay. And then...
Yeah, and then there's just 2 left.
Nope.
So they,
That's
they
all of
go
them.
in.
Yeah, they're all in now, so.
Yeah.
Alright, guys, we think we got it.
Does anything happen?
So
Let's put
as
them
you
in
have
the door.
slowly plugged each of those in, let's see. Immediately upon the 9th cube being placed into the door, all of them flare with a bright light and then vanish,
Ah,
leaving all 9 slots open.
we gotta go collect him again.
Slowly, growling like an angry Commodon, you hear the door slowly start to slide up.
Didn't
Okay.
sound welcoming.
Who wants to go in first?
And with that,
And check for traps.
Pass for that trees? Should I pass for that trees, or do you think that's like...
the door
I
opens
think-
in front of you.
I don't think we need to do that just
Yeah,
yet.
maybe not that, but
As Spartha pokes her head in the room, what does she see?
So I'm sorry. What'd you say?
As Spartha pokes her head in the next room, what does she see?
So as you look into the next room, you see a hallway looks to be give or take about 20 feet. Then on the far side, it looks to be another large slab door. An iron lever is set into the door's surface. Above it is looks to be a rather graven stone skull leering down from above.
I don't like the looks of the skull, guys.
Wait, maybe that
Eyeball
saying
thing goes
that
in the
can
skull.
give us a clue.
You
Any
think
idea?
the eye goes in the skull? Eye? No.
Possibly.
Finding the antidote.
So now we don't
The
have
skull is at the end of this hallway.
It's literally in the doorway on the far north side of you.
Okay, so we would still have to traverse this hallway.
Yep.
I'll traverse the
Before we
hallway.
Should we
Yeah.
check for traps?
I'll check for traps.
Okay, make an investigation check for me.
Yee!
Okay, so as you're looking,
Yeah.
you get the sense that the floor looks like it might be trapped.
Which one? The whole thing?
The floor.
The floor. I cast spider climb, and I climb on the wall.
Oh, okay. So now is all of a sudden you watch Solana just walks up the wall and she's now standing out sideways. So
And
what
I
you
go to
doing?
the door.
You're walking
Go,
to the other
"Guys,
door?
the floor's trapped."
So it's just the skull that's on the wall that we see?
You see a
And a
skull.
lever.
Well, Solana, do me a favor, jump back 10 feet.
Sorry.
Lennon, to answer your question, you see an iron lever on the door
Okay.
and then a stone skull above it, jaw smiling down. Solana, as you get to be about halfway across the room, all of a sudden you hear this grinding sound
That's not...
as the skull's jaw drops open. A long skeletal hand reaches out of the mouth, holding what looks to be a crystal hourglass. With an audible click that you all can hear, the hand turns, and sand slowly starts running through the hourglass.
No!
9,
Come back,
How
Solana.
to get out?
Okay, I'm running.
Solana's-
I'm running out.
7,
On the
Devine
wall.
is
I
going
can't
to run
grab my
towards
token.
Solana.
6,
Come on, Devine.
5,
Should I go
4.
pull the thing?
Don't pull the
found
lever.
Okay.
Just before that
Dude.
happens, Espartha casts Mage Hand, and I want to pull the lever with
Don't
Mage.
pull the lever.
No.
Pull the lever.
Devaney's like,
You've got
don't
1
do
second.
anything.
Are you pulling or no?
I'm pulling it
Okay.
with my Mage Hand.
Devaney's gut is telling her not to pull the lever.
Okay, as all of a sudden you reach down and you pull down on the lever.
We all die.
Let's see here.
Annihilation.
All of a sudden the floor in front of you drops down, split through from the middle. And as you all look down from end to end, you can see it is lined with hideous looking spikes that seem to be coated with some sort of thick substance.
Right.
Told you not to pull the lever.
Well, that could have been the thing.
You should
The
be
timer.
thanking me because Solana would have been down there.
I was on the wall.
As you watch as the sand finally runs through the hourglass, the hand retracts back into the skull, and the stone door slowly lowers down.
I can transform into a giant eagle and fly you guys across.
I'm going to grab. I don't have my crowbar anymore. Darn it. Like a
Let me see if
piton, however you say that, and try to somehow prevent the door from closing with one of those, or a handful of them.
You mean the door 20 feet across the pit of spikes?
Oh, I thought it was the door that we just opened with the cubes.
No,
Sorry.
it's literally the other door, now that the timer's stopped, has just slid down and opened.
Oh,
You can now see
Okay.
clear through to the other hallway. You've just got
oh, okay. I
a
thought it was.
20-foot hole filled with
Okay, hold
spikes in
on.
between you and the other side.
So that the floor is still.
The floor
Gone.
is still
And it's
wide
still
open.
pit.
All you
Okay.
can see is spikes
Can you-
underneath it.
Unpull the lever?
Unwanted creature you touch.
I use Mage Hand to unpull the lever.
The door's not there. The door's open. The lever's gone.
Oh, it was on the
Oh,
door.
It's
Okay.
literally dead center on the door.
Okay.
Well, I can burn a druid thing and carry you all across to the giant eagle.
It's a 10-foot passageway. I don't know if you'd fit.
What about
This druid probably
Pixies
can't fit.
to fly us across?
How else are you gonna get across?
Sorry, what?
How else are you gonna get across? I can get across.
Yeah, pixies and fly,
Oh.
which is what Solarn just suggested.
Oh, you didn't hear. Sorry. Pixies and fly.
Okay, so you're casting Conjure Woodland Beings.
Yes.
Okay. So as Solana uses one of her 4th level spells to
Four spell slots, yeah.
summon up a bunch of little pixies, you all get fly cast upon you. And it becomes child's play to slowly fly across into the next area.
Man, you're lucky you have me, guys. I mean, how else would you get across this pit of death?
Well, if you would have listened to me, we wouldn't have had to do it.
I didn't do anything. I detected traps.
I wasn't talking to you, Solana.
Oh.
As you all start flying your way in,
There's a thing ahead.
you can see that there seems to be this new quarter you're coming up to is covered in moss. And tree roots hang from this slightly hanging ceiling, and the air reeks of just rotting wood and foliage and moisture and damp. Ahead,
I'm kind of okay with it.
a strange looking relief carving of a bearded devil's face adorns
Oh,
the
this-
wall with
This
paths
thing?
heading off to the left and right. Yes.
Okay.
As you look at the devil's mouth, it hangs open.
Not
And
sticking
as
my
you're
hand.
staring at it, it appears to just be a well of pure darkness.
Yo.
Does
no.
this look familiar to Devaney, by any chance?
As you're looking in the mouth,
Well, does it look like something we
I've
saw in
already stuck my hand into?
the pyramid?
it has a similar sort of like, even with your dark vision, you can't see in it, but you don't get that same sort of feeling from it. This
Okay.
is something different.
Oh, great. I threw a rock at it.
Just disappears into the darkness.
Okay, like it doesn't clatter down or anything.
Nope.
Alright, well, this is cursed.
Is there any
Don't stick your
more?
fingers in there.
Is there any more information you can glean from just looking at the face, or is it just a relief in the stone?
It's just a relief. It's well.
It's
For
on the
those
book.
who have seen, let me see if it literally. This is unfortunately. It's only half on the back cover. It literally is this image. It's just the full
Yeah.
image that you see
Okay.
here, and
I
that
don't
mouth
like
is
it.
just darkness.
Okay. So, do we head over the sewer grate, or we head over to nothing? But like a misty thing.
Let's just stick together, whichever
Yeah,
direction
we
we decide.
definitely.
Let's plan a beam. I feel like that's a good.
Solana, that is a terrible idea.
I know, like that's the worst thing ever, isn't
That
it?
is the worst idea ever.
Esparta will examine the graded opening with a 10-foot pole.
Oh, okay. So as you poke down on it, it looks to be a grate. So you sort of look at it and you're poking it with the pole. It's clang, clang. Sounds like some sort of metal. Looks to be rusted to all high hell.
I step next to it and peer inside.
Looks like there is some muddy water flowing slowly past. It looks like almost like a sewer drain.
Gross.
This looks like a drain.
As you look at it, it looks like the spaces between the bars look to be too small for any of your average-sized people to fit through, but a smaller
trust
creature might be able to squeeze their way through it if they chose to.
Like a goblin. Hey, Paddle, can I hold you upside down?
I'm going to say go ahead and roll a D100. We'll say on an 80 or higher, you can convince Paddle to do this only because Paddle ain't here and I ain't making that decision. We'll let the dice decide.
Nope.
Yeah, Paddle looks to be like, no.
Okay.
Does not seem like Paddle's fond of the idea, having just met you people, being lowered down into some weird sewer water in a weird tomb.
I place my wrist next to the opening and I whisper some words to Tochil, and he slides off my wrist and heads into the sewer.
Oh, okay.
What does he see?
As he sort of goes down into it, it's just the flowing sewer water heads off to the north and off to the south.
I ask him to go 100 feet to the north and report back.
Okay. Heads off, let's see. So, takes off, flies off. A couple of moments later, comes back down. Just more sewer.
I do the same for the south.
Okay. Let's see as he starts heading south. A second here. Just want to check. Okay. Just got to take a look at where he is heading south. I apologize.
Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy. Can I dangle you in a sewer so you can see Navy?
So, okay.
I don't think that Paddle would have felt for that. Even though I sing really well.
Let's see. Okay. And so as he heads down south for a little ways, gets to one point, and he's only gone a couple of moments before you hear back from him on this. That the river seems to turn a corner to the south, and as he gets closer, it has a very strong odor It's something he's not familiar with, but it definitely doesn't feel right to him as he comes right back to you.
Ooh,
Huh.
like undead or something, maybe.
Seems that there is something to the south.
Well, we just came from the south, so unless we're gonna go sludge through some sewage, that's not good.
And we
If
don't
it
even know
pleases
how we
you,
could
you
get
may
down
do
there.
it.
So, can we see this thing? Like, are we on top of it?
So as you're looking over in that direction,
Mm-hmm.
from where you are, it's sort of hard to see, but it looks like that the room next way over seems to open up to a what appears to be almost a balcony circling around it,
Yeah.
with a stairway leading down.
Oh. So, should we go to the room with the creepy tomb and the statue things, or should we go to this open balcony room?
Esparta will stealth over to the balcony.
Okay. Are we stealthing now? I can help us stealth.
Let her go first, I guess.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and make a stealth check.
Ooh.
Alrighty then. So as you guys watch as Esparta sort of crouches down, then all of a
I can
sudden,
see you.
boom, 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 boom. Moving surprisingly loud for someone as skeleton as Esparta appears. As Esparta, as you get to the opening of that room and start looking around, you see a massive grand chamber opening in front of you, 50 feet across to the other side and plunging down into darkness below. Stone balcony winding around the walls around to the room, with corridors radiating off in all different directions. Just to the north of you, there's a long stairway leading down apparently to the floor beneath.
And I don't see anything over this balcony.
So no, okay, so you're sort of peering and looking down too.
Yeah, I want to just peek my head
Yeah.
over and look down.
Okay, let's see here. So, as go ahead and I'll say and make a perception check for me. Okay, so as you look and peer down, it is very difficult to see because you notice it doesn't appear to be 10 feet down to the next floor. This seems to go much further down than you anticipated. As far down as you can see, you get some sort of dark shaft opening in the middle of the floor. And there are 4 cylindrical pedestals down in the bottom.
We still fly.
Yep. So as you look at each of the pedestals, it's hard to tell how tall they are, but on top of each one of them is a rather large 4-armed gargoyle.
Do you want to fly down there?
No.
As you're looking down
Okay.
at it, each gargoyle is contained within a square made of metallic tiles embedded in the top of its pedestal.
See, it's safe.
Starting with the northernmost pedestal and going clockwise, the tiles are copper, silver, gold, and platinum.
Well,
Okay.
What are you seeing?
Looks like a very long drop. Some gargoyles on a pillar.
We could fly down.
I don't like gargoyles.
Okay, let's go the other way.
Quen, as you start to look up and turn away, you also notice
Sparta.
no. Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Quen's dead!
Yeah.
Yeah, that made me cry. I'm so upset.
Esparta, as you start to turn away, you notice, as you're lifting your gaze up, on the balcony on the second floor, the balcony immediately beneath you, you see a hunched figure glaring up at you from the balcony. Wears a mask that looks just like the stone beard devil face you saw as you walked down that first hallway.
Ooh, that's creepy.
Without saying a word, as the figure's glaring up at you, just fades back into the darkness and seems to vanish.
Creepy.
And I see this.
Yeah, as you look down and looking around, and as you're sort of looking back, just as you pick up your gaze to go back and report in, you see this figure staring at you as you've been looking down. And as you pick your gaze up, he takes off running the other direction into the darkness.
It seems we are not alone in this tomb.
What do you mean we're not alone? A tomb's supposed to be dead.
Tomb.
Well, it might be dead. But whatever it was wearing a mask, looking not unlike this figure here. She points to the bearded effigy on the wall.
Creepy. Is that like a drama mask? Maybe there. No? Okay. Let's go to the west.
Sure.
I'm gonna
Either
fly,
that or
so I don't
get into
trigger
the
traps.
sewer.
We
I
should
could
all fly
probably
so we
lift
don't
the
trigger
grate.
traps. Remember, we have that.
So what's the plan now?
We're gonna fly this way.
Okay, so as the party starts to fly their way over to the west, you see at the far side of the room there appears to be a window of some sort. You see creepers and vines clinging to the walls of the corridor. In front of you is a large arched window. Appears to be made out of crystal. About 6 feet wide, 10 feet high. Staring within it, you can see a dark chamber on the other side of the window.
Wait, is this the window or is this the window?
This is the window.
Oh, okay, so we're looking through this to a window.
Yes. You're
And
looking
dark
through a crystal window into this darkened room.
Okay, but we
And
can
is
see
this-
the
is this on the
actual
same,
sarcophagus.
floor as us, or is it down, or is it
No,
up?
it's right dead ahead of you.
Okay.
So we can see the sarcophagus though, but it's dimly lit.
Yeah, it's very dark in the room. You can
Okay.
make out something that looks either like an altar or a sarcophagus or something in the room.
Okay. Let's
You can
not break
also
this window.
see within the room,
Uh-huh.
laying, and let me grab the description again of this. Okay.
I say
So
we
as
fly
you're
down.
looking into the room,
Mhm.
you can see what appears to be a carved skull. Actually, let me see if I can pull this image, if this is well, I can bring over. Yes, it is. Perfect. Token layer. Okay. You can see as you're peering through the window, you can see, well, actually, Sparta can probably see it better from her vantage point on the northern side. It may be a little difficult for Solana to see.
I can't see anything.
You see what almost looks like a skeleton. But the skull has very intricate carvings throughout it.
Is it moving?
It's moving, it's walking around.
Ooh,
As it sort
yeah.
of passes by and as you watch as the head turns, the skull has been altered and extends almost, you would say, into the shape of a key.
A key in its head?
A skeleton key?
Oh my god, yeah.
One might say
What a
that.
novel idea.
Let's not break the glass. Let's go fly down to the other layer, because I don't know why. That feels safer right now.
So the
So-
Yes, I agree.
I'm
Solana,
assuming
we
this
shouldn't
window
be
can't
very
be
blurry and stuff.
opened in any way without being broken.
There has to be
Oh, yeah.
another way in the
So,
room.
you
They
look,
said
there
it was a
doesn't
window.
seem to be a way to open the window on this side.
I mean, there must be a door into the room, not just a window.
So
I
let's
guess.
wait on that. Put a pin in that.
I have a question. Am I able to create a mage hand on the other side of the window?
Yeah. It's, Mage Hand says you can cast it where you can see, and you can see through the window, so.
Okay. Do I see what these things are?
So as you're looking through the window, let's see here. Just checking. So standing on the far end of the wall, from this distance, it's hard to make out a lot of detail on it, but they look to be two large statues of some sort of creature. But at this distance, through the window, it's a little hard to make out what they are.
Okay.
But they don't look to be, they're not moving. It looks like they're just statues standing there. And in between them, there's something held.
Uh-huh.
What are the creepy things in the alcoves?
And as you look in the alcoves, you can see what looks to be just corpses hanging there.
Wow. Okay. Can I see the ceiling in that room?
That looks to be, let me see if it gives me a height on it. Okay.
Or what's the ceiling of where we're at now?
Looks to be just like flat stone ceiling about 15, 20 feet up.
Let's try and see.
And this is, looking here, it's about the same. It's about 15, 20 feet up in the next room. Doesn't seem to be, like a vaulted or anything like that.
If we break this glass, I can grab the key with my mage hand.
How about we not
The
break
whole
the glass?
Yeah, I don't
skeleton?
know
The
if
other
breaking
way.
the glass will be such a good idea, though.
Then we
Let's
shall
go
go.
fly
this-
down to the first floor.
Yeah, we turn around
What
and
if
head
we're
east.
on the first floor and everything down?
What if we fly
is
down
like
to the basement?
-1.
What if we fly down just one? Or to the other side of the crevasse?
Crevasse.
Crevice.
Well, we have two options, I guess, is back the way we east or down
We
through
could
the
leave.
sewers. Solana, we spent like months getting here.
Yeah, but I don't like it.
Quen's
I don't
dead
like
because we're
moving.
here.
I don't
We have to
remember
see
why
this
I
room.
came. I thought it would be fun. It's not fun. This is supposed to be like my college, like backpacking around Jolt experience. Like, you know?
As you came with the wrong party.
Yeah.
So you guys are sitting talking by the window. Anyone looking through is noticing the skeleton with the strange key-shaped head is just walking around the room.
Yeah, I know. I don't like him. Let's go to the other side.
So this other side, this was a balcony and it had a staircase as well.
Yeah, so in that grand chamber in front of you, basically there's a balcony that runs around.
Mm-hmm.
There's a stairway that leads down, and there are openings on two on the northern side and one straight across from you.
Let's fly across, since we
Or-
can still fly.
I don't think we should
Perhaps if we
fly.
just stay on this
Okay.
balcony and head north, we may be able to get around.
So you want to go north from where we are?
and then maybe we can head west from there, and head over to to the skeleton key.
Yes, there might be another entrance to that room.
There,
Why do we want to get in
Possibly.
that room? Why are we here? What are we trying to cure? The death curse? Do we know how to do that?
We're looking for something
Uh.
called the Soulmonger, Solana. And we are told it probably is in here somewhere. And we need to destroy it, or some people want us to bring it back so they can study it, but my vote is for destroying it.
Okay, do whatever you want. We apply.
Well, yeah, if you want to go north, Solaren, then let's try north.
okay.
Devaney is going to be on search for traps mode. Because I can now do that while traveling at a normal pace. Apparently.
But if we're flying, are we not flying? Should I dismiss pixies?
Like hovering
Well,
3
maybe-
feet off the ground.
Maybe not dismiss them, but I don't know if we need to fly. Since we have we can walk on the balcony here. I don't know if we need to
It might
fly.
be trapped.
Well, as
No,
long as
we
there's
know.
no pressure plates or something that would throw darts. Like we
Could
found
I-
in the pyramid.
Could I
Exactly.
check for traps down this northern part?
Sure,
the
go ahead and
balcony
make an
before I head
investigation
forward?
check for me.
Devaney can do it though too, right?
Well,
'Cause you're
my
dungeon.
thing that I just took says I can search for traps while traveling at a normal pace.
Okay, it doesn't seem to be trapped to anything that you can see.
Okay, so I will slowly make my way north on this balcony.
Okay, don't seem to have any problem.
And I will just peek my head around the corner before I turn, see if I see anything.
Just poke your head around the
Well,
corner, you see another hallway.
Solaren, do you want to go down this north passageway or the one a little bit to the east?
There, we can turn west at the end of this hall if we want to head
Yeah,
that
but we
way.
can fly over to this passageway.
Yeah, but there's another one over here, and it's down some stairs. And I have a feeling down is where we should be going.
Okay. Yeah, that's all right. So let's.
Actually, I can't tell, it's too dark. Nope, sorry, the passage I'm looking at is not down. Never mind.
Okay.
I couldn't see properly that far. It's just
So
the
if-
stairs down.
So if we head west, at the end of this hallway, perhaps we could get into the room with the skeleton.
And the
That we're
corpses
shambling
and
about.
the guy with the key on his head? Great.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
if we see something that looks like a key, that's probably
You mean
that's
a
probably
keyhole?
what we should
Either
focus our
good
attention
or-
towards.
Or
I will-
bad.
Head in that guy's mouth.
So, can I check for traps again before I head down this hallway?
Sure.
I would like to assist.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you're looking around, you don't see anything. Floor panels look clear, walls look clear. You don't see anything that jumps out at you.
Okay. So I will just slowly and carefully continue through. And I will stop where it opens up and just peek my head out again to see if I see anything around these slight corners.
Okay. So as you all start to, I'm gonna bounce paddle up here so we don't forget about her. Okay, as you start to come down and you see the hallway opening wider, you can see that it's in the distance you can see what looks to be a rusting metal statue of a knight standing at the far end of the hallway, gripping a large iron shield on the in front of him. Shards and flakes of rusted metal cover the floor around the statue's feet.
That's ominous.
And I didn't see anything else.
You see
Okay.
a hallway to the south and a hallway to the north.
Okay. I'll just take a step inside just to clear the hallway in case anybody wants to follow.
Nope, you're on your own.
I'm
What's this?
re-entering behind you.
So that's the statue of the knight with the rusted knight statue with the shield. So, Devaney, as you enter the room, I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Uh-oh.
At least it's you.
I'm
that the
good at
third
those,
nat
apparently.
20? That's
As
like
you
the third
all
nat
watch
20
as
roll.
Devaney, in her resplendent metal armor,
Well, chainmail shirt.
is lifted off of her feet and flies across the room,
Oh no.
slamming into this knight statue. Devaney, you end up taking... Let's see... 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh no.
And as you slam into this shield that this knight is holding and collapse onto the ground, immediately as you look down, you notice your chainmail shirt is rusting.
Oh no.
And as you watch, in a mere 2 seconds, it disintegrates.
Well, there's that.
Do we
You are
Guys, I
now
think
no
we
longer
should,
wearing armor.
What?
leave this room.
Fabio, we have split mail. Can you wear split mail?
Solana, we need to get out of here.
Okay.
What about
Yes.
south?
As you're standing there, Devaney, you can still feel the slight pull from the glaive on your back, the swords on your side.
Okay, let's go south.
I'm gonna can I move? Am I
Yeah, you
still
can-
sort of...
You can move. That it seemed that initial pull with the chainmail armor was enough to pull you off your feet, but you're able to get up and walk. It's just you feel that pull backwards, but it's not enough to pull you off your feet again.
There's nothing down here. Run north.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Is there a door?
As you walk down the hall, it seems to end a mere 10, 20 feet down.
See, nothing. Run.
This is
Where do you
kind
think
of a
you're
place that would, might have a secret door.
Okay, let's check for a secret door.
I have a feeling there's secret doors everywhere
I
here.
have a feeling
Or
that there's no
trap
secret
doors,
door
or
anywhere.
false floors, or
I do not know if
Secret
there's a
doors
secret door.
behind false doors.
trap doors behind secret doors.
Okay, there's nothing here. I
Oh.
checked.
Okay.
Maybe I'll look.
You could have helped me. That would really.
Does that help? Make a
So
difference?
as Solana has looked for a couple of seconds and didn't see anything, Demne, you actually do notice that right behind Solana on that wall there is a switch tucked down in the corner, and as you flick it, you hear that heavy sort of grinding sound as the door slides into the wall
Oh,
sideways.
this is where I didn't want to be.
And
corpses.
immediately you see the desiccated corpse sort of half loll back at you.
At me or Devaney?
Well, I'm assuming at Devaney, as she came forward to check the wall, I'm assuming your
Okay,
position would
Devaney,
be
move
almost
ahead of me,
reversed.
so the corpse doesn't follow me.
And as you look
Now
at,
do you want split
What
mail?
do you see down there?
Dead person thing.
There was a trap door that they opened.
and you see Mr. Keyhead walking around in the distance.
Okay.
Oh, you're so useful after all. And how big is the Mr. Keyhead?
Looks to be about human-sized.
Do you want to wear the split now?
I want to mage hand and take the its head off of the body.
You would know that Mage Hand wouldn't be able to pull its head off at this point, as it's, for lack of a better term, I'll say it's alive.
Oh.
Or it's undead. So
Oh.
you would, Espartha would know that Mage Hand, while it would be able to lift it if it was if it wasn't animated.
Mhm.
While it has some semblance of life, Mage Hand wouldn't be able to pick it up.
Okay. I look at it and I ask it to come here and mind its manners.
Fair enough.
Okay, let's see here. Let me see what is. Okay. Let me see here. Just checking here. Wisdom save. And you're telling it to come there?
Yeah, I'm telling it to come over here and to mind its manners.
Okay, let's see. So, and what is Espartha's-
14.
Huh?
14.
Okay, yeah, so it just sort of almost cocks its head a little bit, and you hear that strange sort of chattering sound from its teeth.
Well, I've done everything I can do.
And with that, I need to ask you all to go ahead and roll initiative.
Well, there we go.
Is this gonna work for this thing?
No, this is slow. Ooh, we're all rolling really poorly.
Typical.
Okay, then we will.
Oh wow. We all rolled under 10.
Don't worry,
got
so did it.
Yeah.
What? How is there no? Guys, you know, why would any of the things I set on here actually work? Okay, so let's try this again. Hey! Okay, so with that, we are actually going to let Solaren go first because Paddle ain't here.
Oh, do you want me to run paddle?
Yes, I do. So,
Okay.
so that'll bring us to Solaren, though.
Okay. So this corpse that's like directly ahead of us, that's just a corpse. That's not animated at all or anything.
It is not moving. It is just laying there at the moment.
Okay.
It's sort of so as Devaney triggered the door, it just sort of collapsed a little bit towards Devaney, so it's not really leaning on Devaney, but
Devaney just had a bath, and now
Yep.
corpse.
Yep.
Oh well.
Alright, I guess I will squeeze through everybody in the hallway here, and I'll just make sure not to touch that corpse at all as I go past, because I don't want to agitate it at all. And I'll get out front here, and I will target the skeleton with Eldritch Blast.
okay. So Okay. So first one is gonna miss wide.
Okay. So yeah, I'll target second blast. Same thing.
Okay. So that, on the other hand, is going to hit. So go ahead and roll some damage for me. Okay, so let me just double check here. Where did my... Okay. Alrighty then. Let's take a quick peek. Come on. Go. Of course, I drop it right on top of your face. Okay, so that slammed into it. It is still alive at the moment. And Slaren, do me a favor. What is your passive perception?
11.
Okay. So, you do not notice a bloody thing.
Oh boy.
And that will bring us over to Paddle.
Paddle's gonna run here next to Solana, or the other side, and do 2 shots with her +1 longbow. His +1 longbow.
I'm not sure, but sure. Go ahead and fire away.
Okay.
That'll hit. Okay. And that is enough to... Well, actually, it's enough to do it. But as Paddle is charging and fire off, you, Paddle and Slaren, and actually, Devaney, you could sort of see this as well for a couple of seconds. As the Eldritch Blast from Slaren comes in, and then Paddle's arrow slams into this skeleton-looking creature. You watch as the body just crumbles. Just loose bones falling to the ground. The head falling to the side. Again, the elongated skull looking like a key. And as you're noticing that, you also notice that the desiccated corpse in front of you is now starting to stand up, looking at the back of Solarin's head.
Okay. Can I use
The
that
two
second
across the walls are now starting to rise out of their seats.
shot? Okay. Am I too close to shoot the one behind Solaren with that, or
You would have, well, disadvantage, but it would still
can I
hit.
shoot? Can I shoot this one then? Oh, with
But
disadvantage.
it would
but
still,
hit.
disadvantage was a 24. Go
Okay.
ahead and roll damage.
12.
Okay. So, let's see, give me a second. Can't forget to turn off their health bars, so we're gonna go.
I don't want to use anything too big.
Okay, anything else Paddle would be doing?
Nope.
Okay, so that'll bring us over to Solana.
Can I shoot down the hallway, or would I have to move out?
What do you mean? You mean shoot past Devaney?
Yeah.
You could. It's going to be a little harder to hit them, but you're pretty
Mhm.
confident in your abilities.
Okay, I'm gonna hit this one.
Okay.
With my bow. I'm not ensnaring it, I'm just hitting it.
Okay, so that'll definitely hit. So go ahead and roll some damage. Okay, it's still on its feet.
And that's my turn.
Okay. So that'll bring us over to Devaney.
Question. The glaive's not a magical weapon, is it? Or count as a magical weapon?
The
It's
glaive
just a
does.
regular...
Ooh.
Well, I forget.
Because it's not Tuala holding it, it's me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Let me take a. Give me a second. I actually have to look. I want to say it was tied to something we did for his character. Let me just double check. Yeah, so no, it is not a magical weapon.
Okay, that's what I thought. I am going to dig up my trusty dual welding swords and
Oh, you
try
got bookmark
to
and stuff now.
trying to know what's in the bag of holding.
Oh,
stab the guy in front of me.
Okay, fire away. Or hack away.
halfway.
Maybe Devaney will rethink, after the fight, but right now she doesn't have it.
Okay, so that'll definitely hit. Okay. It is still on its feet at the moment. My pencil. Okay, that will hit as well.
Yeah.
It is definitely looking rough, but it's still on its feet. Okay, and that will hit also. Okay, so you can see it is barely holding on. It's still there, but it's not looking in good shape. Anything else you'd be doing?
Considering it was looking at Solaire, and I'm kind of stabbing it in the back.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to say, boo. And that's my turn.
Oh, okay. That will bring us to the skeleton that is no longer in one piece. It'll bring us over to Aspartha.
So Aspartha's going to aim down with her longbow past Solana and Devaney, and will attempt to shoot. I say duck as I loose my longbow.
That'll hit, so go ahead and roll some damage.
This is where?
And do I get what the fuck is that?
You would, but if you want to
Attack.
roll it, you can. It don't matter.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's
Alright.
dead.
Dead. I killed it.
Yeah, as the arrow just sinks into the base of its skull, you watch as it just falls forward into the room. Sort of almost leaning on Solaren as it just sort of bumps into Solaren and then falls to the ground.
Hey, watch it.
I said duck.
I don't see a duck.
Anything else you'd be doing?
So the other skeletons are animating in the room, so?
Yep. From where you're standing, you can see one more animating. So you saw one in between your charges animating, one on the far side. So it's a safe assumption to think they all would be.
Okay. I'll stay here for now.
Okay. That will bring us to the top of the order, and I think this is where we'll call it for this evening's session, as it's just after 11. And we'll pick this up right here as we continue this battle next week when we return. So welcome, Aspartha. Welcome, everyone, to the true Tomb of the Nine Gods.
Oh.
As you have already started to find out, is a very interesting place.
Dangerous.
So before we disappear this week, we have a situation to deal with. Our Nat 20
Aspartha.
for next week.
Aspartha with her wonderful accent.
Okay, so we got one vote. Devaney, Solaren, anything?
Yeah, I second Esparta. So
Yeah, might as well give it to the
Yeah.
new character. Same person, different character.
Okay, so it looks like new kid on the block is getting the D20 for next week. So
Yeah.
remember, Lyndon, you have the Nat 20 next week. For everyone else, go ahead and give yourself a point of DM's inspiration. And we will pick up next week as these desiccated corpses seem intent on doing something as you guys have walked into this room. And Solaren doesn't even know why. You'll find out. As will you all next week. So don't forget, folks, when it comes time to walk down a long, terrifying hallway and your dungeon master starts counting rapidly down from 10 to 1, just remember to add your proficiency bonus when you're trying to figure out what exactly you're going to do. 'Cause you might just be dealing with a pit full of poison spikes. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week.